सो है गाइस की हाल चाल है सब तो फुली सारे बढ़िया होंगे आज आप वीडियो लेके आए हैं जी हाउ हिप हॉप चेंज्ड आफ्टर डेथ ऑफ सिद्धू मूसेवाला लाइक ग्लोबली ਇਹਦਾ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪਿਆ ਆ ਆਜੋ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ
Just like many other prolific legends of the rap game, Sidhu Moosewala foreshadowed his own death in countless lyrics and videos.
ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਐਸੇ ਹਿਪ ਹੌਪ ਰਾਈਟਰਸ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਵਰਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਹੀ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਡੈਥ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਪ੍ਰਿਡਿਕਟ ਕਰਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਹਿਪ ਹੌਪ ਲਾਈਕ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਿਰਿਕਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਰਾਈਟ ਸੀਗਾ
creepy trend that presents way too many examples in the modern music industry. Countless rappers like XXXTentacion have depicted their own funerals in music videos, from Mac Miller to Mo3, and of course Tupac, one of Sidhu's biggest
even Tupac did it.
Inspirations, as well as his main rival Biggie, both gunned down in their cars after a turbulent beef, made songs and albums themed after their impending deaths.
ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਲਾਈਫ ਆਫਟਰ ਡੈਥ ਲਾਈਕ ਨਟੋਰੀ ਬਿਗੀ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਣਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਟੂਪੈਕ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਬਣਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਈ ਹੋਪ ਦੇ ਬਰੀ ਮੀ ਐਂਡ ਸੈਂਡ ਮੀ ਟੂ ਦ ਰੈਸਟ ਆਫ ਮਾਈ ਰੈਸਟ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਸੈਂਡ ਮੀ ਟੂ ਮਾਈ ਰੈਸਟ ਹੈਡਲਾਈਨਸ ਰੀਡਿੰਗ ਮਰਡਰ ਟੂ ਡੈਥ my last breath oh shit murder to death मतलब उस बंदे ने भी ये गल कही सी मैं मतलब वो भी यही इस तरीके ਨਾਲ
Fans were quick to note that the date of Sidhu's murder, the 29th of May, echoed the title of one of his most famous songs, 295. They noted that in the eerily
even like जिस दिन वो मरिया उस दिन the most famous गाना 295 like 295 was there so the same date उस तो यार shit man it's not normal guys it's not normal. It is normal.
Title track The Last Ride, Sidhu had sung about being laid to rest in his youth. His latest album at the time, Moose Tape, contained several references to dying young and the constant threat of being gunned down. These seemingly symbolic coincidences and going out in a dramatic shooting added a halo of greatness around Sidhu, cementing his legacy as an icon, just like many of the great artists who sadly lose their lives way too young. Unfortunately, Sidhu will never be able to live out his full potential, but he left behind.
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਗੁਰੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਆਰਟਿਸਟਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹੂਗਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਫੁੱਲ ਪੋਟੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਤੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਲਾਈਕ ਬਟ ਸਟਿਲ ਹੀ ਗੇਵ ਅਸ ਦ ਪਲੈਂਟੀ ਆਫ ਦ ਟਰੈਕਸ ਲਾਈਕ
Behind a legacy that would never be forgotten. Sidhu stood for far more than just fame and fortune. He chose to stand up for his people, protesting against corruption, and even wanted to run in politics to better the life of his neighbours. But he was also bridging the gap between the East and the West. He truly wanted to change his country, perhaps a little too much. Adding that to the fact that he used his music to get mixed up in a gang conflict ultimately made him the target of an act of vengeance, putting an early end to an incredible life full of potential. Perhaps had he not gone head to head with the politicians, he might not have lost his protection, and maybe he would have had security to shoot back that day.
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
This situation is much deeper than meets the eye, and it's clear that Sidhu's revolutionary spirit meant that a lot of people wanted him dead. And no matter what, we know from his lyrics that he knew
ਦੇਖਿਓ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਲੱਗੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੈਵੋਲੂਸ਼ਨਰੀ ਸੋਲ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਜੋ ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕ ਖਫਾ ਸੀਗੇ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲਾ ਮਰ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ
he wasn't going to survive. In the aftermath of Sidhu's death came support and grief from all over the world. Images of Sidhu's body was pictured as people paid their last respects before he was laid to rest. One viral video would even circulate showing the heartbreaking scene where his parents broke down over the casket, still struggling to process the loss of their beloved son. Sidhu's death touched people you wouldn't have even expected. Even from his long-time perceived enemy in music, Karan Aujla, would be seen crying on social media following the news, later releasing a tribute song. But it wasn't just India.
ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਗਲਤ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਯਾਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦਿਨ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਸਾਲਾ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ
Artists paying their respects to Sidhu. Also, some of the biggest artists in the entire world. Drake would pay respects to Sidhu on his OVO radio show Table for One, as well as wearing a t-shirt reading RIP Sidhu Moosewala, something that was later released to the public for sale. Here in the UK, YouTube sensation KSI would also be seen wearing a t-shirt commemorating Sidhu and honouring his first album PBX1. African giant and Afrobeats legend Burna Boy would also share his heartbreak after Sidhu passing, as he was seen breaking down on stage while singing RIP Sidhu Moosewala and copying
Burna Boy ਵਰਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਰੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਸੀ ਯਾਰ ਸ਼ਿਟ ਮੈਂ
Sidhu's signature thigh slap.
Yo
Burna Boy also mentioned Sidhu on his appearance on the hip-hop podcast $1 Million Worth of Game, showing that him and Sidhu had actually planned to release a joint mixtape.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing I felt with, rest in peace, Sidhu Moosewala, who just died. He was like a legend from India, from Punjab, and his music from the beginning, even before we got, close and, started working on a mixtape that might never come out now. Yeah, man, I just felt the...
ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਯਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਿਕਸਟੇਪ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣੀ ਸੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਗਾਈਜ਼ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ EP ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਫੁੱਲ ਐਲਬਮ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਏਗੀ ਬਾਹਰ, ਪਰ ਅਮਨ ਸਹੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਜੇ ਉਸ 'ਤੇ ਸਿੱਧੀ 2 ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਭਰਾ, ਲੀਕ ਨਾ ਕਰੀ, ਓਰੀਜਨਲੀ ਪਾ ਦੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ 2 ਲਾਈਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ।
Music, I just felt like bruh, like I could have made this,
right?
Right. Even if I don't even speak no Punjab or nothing,
right.
you feel me? Right. But I could literally sing most of the songs that I with word for word.
Don't even know the language.
And I don't even know what it means.
Right.
You understand?
Right. So that just means it's a great melody and a great beat.
Yeah.
And great
talks
melodies.
to your soul.
Right.
Really talks.
It talks to your soul, man. ਉਹ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਯਾਰ, ਉਹ ਕਿਆ ਸੋਚੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ, ਕਿਆ ਯਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਹੇਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੀ ਯਾਰ, ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੰਨੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਏ ਉਸ ਬੰਦੇ ਤੋਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੜੀ
to your soul, like whatever is telling your soul, whether it's good or bad, it's still talking to your soul.
Right.
And regardless of the language barriers, Sidhu's music was so strong, it resonated with Burna Boy deeply. He would actually visit Sidhu's parents' house in the UK, gifting them a painting of their son. Furthermore, UK drill rapper Tion Wayne, who collaborated with Sidhu on a couple of tracks, including Celebrity Killer, would pay homage to Sidhu in his own 2023 solo track, Healing. In the video, Tion visits Sidhu's house in Musa, surrounded by armed guards, and of course his famous tractors. The music video ends with a special tribute to Sidhu, reading Legends Never Die. However, Sidhu's death was sadly not only used to pay respects, as political parties in India attempted to use him as a tool to gain influence. In the Sangra Lok Sabha by-polls in 2022, the INC party proceeded to use Sidhu's image as a tool within their election campaigns. This
ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਕਿ INC ਲਾਈਕ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਗੁਰਾ, ਕਿ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਦੀ ਮੌਤ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚੋਂ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਜਿੱਤਣ ਦਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ, ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਜਿੱਤਣ 'ਚ ਨਾਮ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ, ਵਰਤਿਆ। ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਯਾਰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਗਈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਯਾਰ। It's all in front of us, in front, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ।
This move was objected to by Sidhu's family, who then proceeded to appeal for the party not to use their son's image and persona for political or personal gain. Regardless of all the accolades and influence Sidhu gained in his career, in the end, he was brutally murdered in broad daylight over the actions of other men that had nothing to do with him. His parents had lost their dear and only son, which is heartbreaking when considering the level of respect and affection that Sidhu showed his parents throughout his career, such as the time that he supported his mother in the Musa election or releasing his own tribute song Dear Mama, just like Tupac did. Sadly, his parents, just like countless others, fell victim to their son being taken away by ruthless gangsters. And after his son's death, Sidhu's father requested fans via Instagram not to try and visit them in person, explaining that they have left their village for a couple of months after fans from all over the world have been visiting to give their condolences. But this wasn't the only issue that the family faced. Moosewala's father, Balkaur Singh, reported to the police that he had received a death threat from a Pakistani phone number. Soon after Sidhu's cremation, a statue would be erected in his honour at the same site, and his father, Balkaur Singh, would take the opportunity to voice his frustration at the government, asking in a Times of India interview why there's been no arrest of Goldie Bra. Sidhu's father also shed light on the Shaganpreet Singh, the manager who had allegedly gotten Sidhu targeted in the first place after arranging the murder of Vicky Midukera, claiming that he didn't realise that brothers would become enemies, and explaining that he would take their names and get to the bottom of things. But it seems that these bold public statements from Sidhu's father likely angered the Bishnoi gang who were responsible, and following this, with zero empathy for the family, they would issue a direct death threat towards Sidhu's father over his comment, saying that you and your son don't own the country and you can't give security to whoever you want. Sidhu's parents weren't the only ones heartbroken over Sidhu's murder.
ਮੈਂ ਯਾਰ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਸੱਚੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਲਾਈਕ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਦਾ ਪਿਓ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਓਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ। ਬਹੁਤ ਬਕਵਾਸ ਸੁਣੀ ਆ ਯਾਰ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਦੇ ਘਰਦਿਆਂ ਨੇ।
Fans from all over the world would pay their respects, detailing just how much the loss had affected them and how Sidhu's music had even allowed themselves to get closer to their own culture. One fan would give a detailed breakdown as to why Sidhu was so beloved, even mentioning how people were taking the loss as if they had lost one of their own family.
True, bro.
Members. Although Sidhu was gone, his momentum was far from over, and he still had a locker of unreleased songs and powerful messages, such as SYL, a song which was taken down 3 days after its original upload due to its controversial and anti-government nature, yet it still managed to go on to amass 22 million views. Thankfully, it was still reinstated, and is available today. After his death, Sidhu's music posthumously charted in numerous countries, taking his already enormous influence to new highs. In April 2023, Steel Bangles also released a posthumous song from Sidhu featuring Burna Boy. The song's a beautiful tribute to Sidhu and explains the importance of his name, with Merana meaning my name. The video features multiple shots honoring Sidhu, such as Drake wearing the R.I.P. Sidhu shirt, as well as a field of his beloved tractors, and his face appearing in the clouds. Sidhu left behind a beautiful legacy and was a great example and role model for the Punjabi Jat people. Although his family faced massive amounts
Punjabi Jat people, huh?
was a great example and role model for the Punjabi Jat people. Though his family faced massive amounts of trauma and backlash following Sidhu's death, recently, the family shared an incredible surprise to the world in March 2024. 2 years after Sidhu's murder, they had delivered a new son. Through the process of IVF, the parents were blessed with a newborn child, even at such a late stage in life, which elated Sidhu fans across the world, who began claiming Sidhu is back. And it appears that they might be right, as the family aptly named their newborn son that same iconic name, Shubdeep Singh Sidhu, even sharing an image of the newborn son on social media, with a caption saying that this child was blessed by the millions of souls who already loved Sidhu. Balkaur Singh claimed that the son he lost, Sidhu, has now come back to him, and that finally the family had some positive news. Unfortunately, the Indian government still didn't let up on the family, seemingly in fear of the revolutionary spirit of a newborn child.
मतलब ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸਤਾ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਹਨਾ A to Z ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ ਯਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਦੇ ਕੈਰੀਅਰ ਦੀ 2.5 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ.
They would begin harassing the couple, ordering them to prove the legitimacy of the birth due to their age and the restrictive IVF rules that exist in India. In one video released to social media, Sidhu's father pushes back against the police for harassing him, requesting that the government allow the treatment to get completed before he's called upon to prove the legitimacy of the child. For now, it seems that the family have been left to raise their newborn child in peace, but unfortunately they lost their son, and the world lost an incredible artist and radical thinker when Sidhu Moosewala passed. But just like the popular saying that emerged following Sidhu's death, legends never die, and that revolutionary spirit that Sidhu put into his music and the hearts of every Jat from Musa and beyond will live forever. So I just want to end this video by saying rest in peace to one of the most interesting and incredible artists the world has ever experienced. I enjoyed learning all about Sidhu Moosewala.
Okay guys, so that's it. ਬਾਕੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਪਾਰਟਸ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇਖੋ, ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰੋ, ਤਾਂ ਲਿੰਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਪਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਜੇ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੋ ਤਾਂ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।